Crossed the line legally or like got us into trouble? No. Um, Trouble. Sometimes this is the kind of trouble that a campaign would get. 3 days in, 5 days in, maybe a week in, the client is flipping out because it's not working. And they expected instant response. Now I feel like a salesperson because that's where, let's just say, expectations weren't really managed. And for whatever reason, they assume that if you just yell from a bullhorn, that what you say is relevant. Sometimes it's not. But to answer your question, there have been plenty of times over the years where the message is right, it's relatable, it's believable, it has the right information, it has a solid lead, it has a great call to action. If you were to break it down from an academic or an outside perspective, everything seems to be there. This is a winning commercial. Then it goes on the air with a decent campaign and a decent schedule, and it flops. Those are the ones that are really tough to take because advertising isn't an exact science. And that is, we understand that, but try explaining that to a client who just spent $35,000 out of their own pocket and now feels that 6 weeks later, I got nothing. That's a tough one to explain. And, it was well thought out. We thought we were on target. Sometimes I feel we can learn something from it, but because it's not really explainable, I'm not sure what we can gather. If I could pinpoint why exactly did it fail, I'd be smarter and richer. But I can't always do that, and that's just the truth. I do take some solace in knowing that there are million-dollar campaigns, many of them national, even international, that have far more research and brain power and money and casting and everything else that go into them that flop as well. I take some consolation in that it verifies that the process is not scientific. It's not A plus B gives you C. But by the same token, sometimes the smallest idea generates the biggest response. And I didn't expect that. There have been times where you go, all right, it's 3 weeks and this is a good spot and it should generate some interest, make some impact. Don't know how much. And then before you know it, the client's flipping out. This is fantastic. 16 people called and you go, now wait a second. That was a pretty straight ahead, simple. And you can spend just as much time trying to figure that one out as the one that didn't fly. But I'm good with success. In any form, as long as it comes, it met the goals, and I'm entirely good with that.